In 1922, British archaeologist Howard Carter made headlines around the world for discovering the tomb of Egypt's famed boy king, Tutankhamun. What should have been a moment of triumph soon became overshadowed by a darker tale, one of death, intrigue, and a sinister curse. Legends surrounding the discovery claimed that anyone who disturbs the resting place of a pharaoh will be met with dire consequences. Could there be some truth to these chilling accounts? Let's find out. Our story begins in November of 1922 in the Valley of the Kings near the Egyptian city of Luxor. For over a year, a team led by the British archaeologist Howard Carter had been excavating a site here in hopes of unearthing an ancient tomb. As the weeks turned into months with no significant discoveries, many began to lose hope. But Carter, along with his financial backer, Lord Carnarvon, were determined to press on. Then one day, as the team cleared away debris, they noticed a staircase leading down into the ground. At the bottom, they found a sealed chamber containing 3 stone sarcophagi. One of them bore the name Tutankhamun, the boy pharaoh who ruled Egypt from 1332 to 1323 BCE. He was just 9 years old when he ascended to the throne and died around 18 years later, possibly from complications following a broken leg. His tomb had remained hidden for over 3,000 years. The discovery sent shockwaves around the globe. Newspapers ran stories about the incredible find, and Carter was celebrated as a hero of archaeology. As plans were made to open the tomb to the public, excitement reached a fever pitch. On November 26, 1922, Lord Carnarvon joined Carter inside the tomb for the first time. They descended into the burial chamber where the air hung heavy with anticipation and the scent of decaying earth. As Carnarvon stood before the sarcophagus of Tutankhamun, he ran his hand along its surface, seemingly unaware of the shadow that had just fallen across his path. Moments later, a breeze swept through the chamber, extinguishing the lantern in Carnarvon's hand and plunging them into darkness. When the flames were relit, the lantern revealed a grim sight. Carnarvon lay crumpled on the ground, stricken with an apparent heart attack. It was a dramatic and eerie turn of events that set in motion a series of misfortunes so bizarre that they would become known as the Pharaoh's Curse. As word spread of Lord Carnarvon's untimely demise, the public was quick to draw a connection between his death and the recently unearthed tomb. This morbid curiosity was only fueled by an inscription found within the tomb itself. "Death shall come on swift wings to him who disturbs the king's rest." Suddenly, the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb was overshadowed by chilling tales of a vengeful spirit unleashed. Within weeks, Carnarvon wasn't the only one to fall victim to the curse. A staff member died suddenly, and Carter himself was stricken with malaria, a mosquito-borne disease that can cause severe fever and, in some cases, death. These incidents, coupled with rumors of strange sounds and apparitions within the tomb, created a perfect storm of fear and fascination. The media latched onto the story, and before long, the tale of the Pharaoh's curse was captivating the public imagination. The curse had claimed another victim. This time it was Arthur C. Mace, the secretary to the Egyptian Antiquities Service. He suffered a venomous insect bite that turned septic, leading to his death. By March 1923, the mounting casualties had shocked the world. With 5 deaths and several illnesses linked to the tomb, it seemed as if the curse was real and growing stronger. Even more alarming was the fact that the victims weren't just archaeologists or those directly involved in the excavation. One individual who had merely visited the site was also reported to have fallen ill. As the body count rose, so did the fear. Many began to believe that the curse was not just a superstitious tale, but a very real threat. People avoided the area, convinced that the vengeful spirit was casting its net wide, claiming anyone who dared come too close. Amidst this growing panic, there was one question on everyone's mind. Who was next? Could the curse strike again, taking another life? And if so, who would be its next victim? As the fear peaked, so did the efforts to appease the vengeful spirit. Some suggested that the tomb should be sealed once again, believing that keeping the pharaoh undisturbed would halt the curse. Others called for a full investigation, demanding proof of the curse's existence before any further lives were lost. However, amidst the rising terror, one man remained defiant. Howard Carter, the archaeologist who had discovered the tomb, refused to back down. He argued that the deaths were mere coincidences, a product of sensationalism rather than a supernatural curse. Carter's unwavering stance only added fuel to the fire, with some hailing him as a hero standing up to the wrath of the pharaohs, while others accused him of arrogance, daring to defy a force he couldn't understand. Amidst the chaos, Carter continued his work, eager to uncover more secrets of the past. However, his determination came at a cost. As the months passed, the toll on his health and sanity became increasingly evident. The pressure of proving his theory, the constant fear of the curse striking again, and the isolation from those who doubted him took a heavy toll. Some say that in his obsession with proving the curse false, Carter was losing sight of the wonder of his discovery. Others argued that his bravery in the face of fear was unmatched, a testament to the human spirit's indomitable will. Yet, despite the controversy and personal toll, Carter pressed on, driven by his passion for archaeology. Through it all, he kept a close watch on his own health, aware that he, too, was part of the equation. After all, if the curse was real, he was the one who had disturbed the pharaoh's rest. Years went by, and slowly the initial shock surrounding the curse began to fade. People moved on, finding new topics to fill the pages of newspapers and dominate dinner-table conversations. Yet the story of the pharaoh's curse didn't end there. As the decades rolled on, the legend only grew, taking on a life of its own. Even today, the tale of the pharaoh's curse continues to fascinate and terrify people around the world. It's a story that has become synonymous with the discovery of King Tut's tomb, forever linking the ancient burial chambers to the supernatural. In the years following the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb, scientists offered a different perspective on the mysterious deaths and illnesses. They proposed that the tomb, being sealed for thousands of years, may have contained dangerous substances. Sealed chambers can harbor deadly spores, bacteria, or toxic gases, creating an environment hazardous to human health. In the absence of modern medical facilities and knowledge, exposure to such elements could easily prove fatal. However, statistics tell a different story. Most members of Carter's team lived normal lifespans. Carter himself survived 17 more years, dying at age 64 from a hip injury unrelated to his explorations. This suggests that while some individuals may have been susceptible to the tomb's potential hazards, many others were not. Then there are those who argue that the curse is real, pointing to the deaths of Lord Carnarvon and several others as evidence of a malevolent force. They suggest that the proximity to the tomb, regardless of scientific explanations, was enough to trigger the curse, turning each breath into a gamble with fate. Proponents of this view often highlight the cultural context, noting that the ancient Egyptians held strong beliefs about the afterlife and the importance of leaving offerings for the dead. Disturbing a tomb, they argue, was seen as a grave offense, one that could invite divine retribution. There's yet another school of thought that sees the curse as a combination of factors, a blend of reality, psychology, and the human tendency to seek patterns in random events. This perspective acknowledges that the conditions within the tomb might have been harsh, leading to illness and even death for some. At the same time, it recognizes the power of suggestion and fear in shaping people's beliefs and experiences. Proponents of this view argue that the curse, in a sense, was self-fulfilling, with each death feeding into the narrative and influencing how people perceived subsequent events. So, was the Pharaoh's curse real? Well, it depends on who you ask and what you believe. Science offers one explanation, pointing to potential dangers within the tomb. Personal accounts and beliefs offer another, highlighting the impact of fear and the respect commanded by ancient burial sites. Ultimately, the truth may lie somewhere in between, a blend of historical context, human error, and the enduring allure of the unknown. The Pharaoh's curse remains a compelling enigma, a testament to the blurred lines between myth and reality, faith and reason. And perhaps that's why the story continues to captivate us even today. It reminds us that sometimes the greatest mysteries are the ones we create ourselves,